I don't mind. Cause not only you in my mind, oh. Girl, you too fine, well, lie, me, I know the lie, oh. Not only you in my head, oh. Yeah, only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause confusion in my head, yeah. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy. You're my fantasy. Only you in my head, oh. Only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy, yeah. Going on inside? Is this reality? Oh yeah, cause I don't wanna wake up from this dream. Them say something must kill a man, oh, nah, nah, nah. But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Oh yeah, cause not only you in my mind, oh. Yeah, yeah. See you too fine, me, I know the lie, oh. See, now only you in my head, oh. Yeah, only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause confusion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the lie, oh. Me, I know the lie, oh. Only you in my head, only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause commotion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the lie, oh. My fantasy. See, now only you in my head, only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause confusion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, oh. I know the lie. Only you in my head, oh. Yeah, only you in my head, oh. See, now you they cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, oh. My fantasy.
All right. Welcome everybody. I'm so excited. Today I will be having Kimmy on here. Kimmy is here. I have her in the back. Y'all know I always put my guests in the back. Just why I greet my audience. Now I do want to shout out the replay crew because y'all be getting it in, and I thank everybody who has participated in weed. Well, I can't say that right. Weed and Wine Wednesday. Wednesdays are extra special for me because y'all know I cut back on my wine intake. I'm only drinking wine now on Wednesdays. I'm not doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I believe that all drunks got started doing that shit. So just for Kimmy, I reserve this bottle. Ooh, y'all can't see it. Y'all know this is my favorite wine, Confetti Sweet Peach. So go ahead and bust this open and pour me a glass. I had 2 edibles while I was waiting on Kimmy, and I had 3 edibles earlier today, like about 11 o'clock when I was at the doctor's office. So I'm 5 edibles in, and I feel like, baby, I'm good. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move tonight on a little bit rapidly because I know that Kimmy has a show later on, and I definitely don't want to like overstep and cross into what she's trying to do, because I do appreciate her for being here. But I'm telling you, if y'all missed this one, you're gonna miss it all. Okay. And I got a nasty old piece of exclusive coming through. I don't know if Kimmy heard it because I was listening to it in the background because I'm using a different device. So we're going to see how that works. Honey, let me sip this wine right quick. Now, after tonight, basically I'll be on vacation. I may swing through with my Patreons. I still haven't set up my membership. But for the most part, I ain't really gonna be pushing out no content on this channel. But on the 26th, I will be having James Spillet Boy, aka Mother, on the 26th. He will be over here. So you guys want to make sure that you don't miss that show. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring up my guest, Just Kimmy, formerly known as Pretty Kimmy. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hi. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for having me.
And I thank you so much for, offering to do this, because like I said, it's a privilege for me when other content creators are willing to come to my platform. And I look at this as a collaboration. And a lot of people, they keep calling these interviews. I really call them conversations. To me, I just feel like, I'm inviting you to my house. We're sitting down, we're having a little nasty drink. And we're just going to talk about some things, you know what I'm saying? And there are times where, I'll bring up other content creators' names that I may be cool with. I'm not trying to ignite no beef or no drama or no trouble. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on and having just some real grown conversation.
Okay.
So that's all. It's never, personal. But I will ask my moderators, if anybody comes in here and they're disrespecting me or my guests, please take them out immediately. Now, if Kimmy is dragging somebody or Kimmy saying somebody's name and she's giving them the business, if they're in the chat and they're responding back to what she's saying, then let them say what they want to say, because they have the right to defend themselves. But I don't want anybody coming in here, just off the rip, disrespecting Kimmy or anything like that. I don't even want them timed out. I want them blocked. A lot of times I'm not really focusing so much on the chat, which I do apologize for that. But, I try to focus on my guests. So that's something that I'm trying to work, more on. And in time, maybe I will incorporate the chat, in it more once I start doing this a little bit more. But Bella's World, thank you so much. I really appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Now, let me tell you, Bella's World, I need to mod her up, honey, because she was over there dropping some good stuff. Moderate, I was copying and pasting. I said, oh, shit, I need to use this copy and paste. Okay? So I'm humbled by that. I truly appreciate it. And welcome to everybody coming in. Dr. LaShonda, Denise Bright. Let me see. I know I missed a couple other people. Bama, Nosy Bama, Jim Hunter, Kim Arrington. We got Star up in here, Cool Gamer, Sheila E, The Quiet Storm, Real Court, and the last Dunn is up in the building. Okay, so let me go ahead. Let me say this. First of all, when you offer to do this, and this is like no cap, this is just real shit. I was so excited because, and I'm on the record saying this shit, because people thought I was just saying this shit before and like, oh, you gonna change what you said, da 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 da. Kimmy, to me personally, she's not a threat to me, but what I'm saying is she's a triple threat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was saying. I'm like, this girl should have been had a channel a long time ago. And the thing about Kimmy is, as a newer content creator, I'm not really impressed by a lot of newer people that I see come along. It's been a long time since I've actually seen somebody that I feel, and this is just my opinion, that I feel has what it takes to be a major, huge, big content creator. Of course, that comes along with a lot of self-control, a lot of, ignoring people. It comes with a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, to actually try to grow. And we'll get, more into that. But I was just overall really excited about this, because it's been a while that I've really seen somebody and I'm like, wow, this is what it's all about. It's the entertainment, it's what you bring. I think that what you're doing, I just think it's amazing. I think you have the ability to be such a huge content creator. I don't know, what you foresee in your future on YouTube, and we'll get into that later on. But I think if you really truly stay focused, you can do some major, major things on YouTube. And the thing about you that's a lot different from a lot of the other newer YouTubers is that a lot of times, you know, not a lot of times, but you do pay homage to the OGs. And that's something that a lot of people don't do. And they feel like they don't have to do it because, well, whatever, you know what I mean? But there's really no order in the beef sector. And the fact that you are, not that you won't check an OG now, but the fact that you give OGs respect for the work they have done. And I'm not saying we know civil rights people, but I'm just saying a lot of people don't do that. And I really see that. And I really appreciate that. And you do it not just with me, but I see you do it with other people that have been here for a long time. So I just wanted to give you your flowers while you're here.
Thank you.
I think that you really have, like, you have the it factor, and that's just real shit. Like I said that before, I'll say it again, and I'm not going to change it. So we're gonna move on, and what I did want to talk to you about is balancing branding and subscribers. That can be very difficult. There are some times where, you know, I may want to do certain things, and I have done certain things, and I'm like, you know, I have sponsors, and I know some people feel like, you know, if the sponsors are not coming from Target or Walmart, then we shouldn't even be impressed about it. But I think to be in this area of YouTube that we're in, I think it's amazing to have sponsors or affiliates. So do you ever find a hard time balancing you know, branding and also to trying to make your subscribers happy? And shout out to Facebook. I see you.
Yes, actually I do. And thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I'm just trying to get my lighting together, and I promise I'll be on camera shortly.
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
But yes, absolutely. It's a delicate balance. One of the things that I do, though, whenever I talk to my people that want to advertise with me or that offer me the opportunity to do affiliate marketing, I always talk to them about the rate of return. I always ask, did they get an opportunity to see my content? I always send them demographic information, my rate sheet, my media kit. I send them an entire packet so that they can make the best decision for them. And when I first got started, I had a brand that was offering me an opportunity to do to share like some type of sticky, but it was real trendy. You know what I mean? It was like a sticky note or a post-it note, but it was a real trendy concept. And I asked them to send it to me. They sent it to me, and it was bunk. It didn't work for me. It was awful for me.
Wow.
And I contacted the brand back and was like, I cannot in good conscience do it. At that point, that would have been the most money I would have been able to receive upfront as a brand new content creator a few weeks in the game. And I turned it down. And then I shared it with my audience. I'm like, listen, guys. So the thing is that I do think it's a delicate balance. But one of the things that you have to do, especially when you're having conversations, and it can be controversial at times, is make sure that your sponsors or partners have a full package and that they understand your demographics and your brand. And if you stay true to that, then you won't have a conflict with your audience. I don't run brand and sponsor ads on all of my videos, not because I don't want to, but because that's pre-negotiated before I ever do the deal. So they already know if they're going to get pre-run, mid-roll, end-roll, if they're going to get featured on Instagram, how many times in a month. That's already pre-negotiated.
Wow. Okay. See what I'm saying? You so busy. You're so business savvy, and a lot of people wouldn't even think that far ahead. So y'all better be taking notes, you know, while y'all here. I think that's amazing that you do that. Now, you also say on your channel, attack the idea and not the person. Some content creators, they like to do a WWE style platform. Why did you decide to take this approach as a content creator?
Really good question. It was simply because I had been a subscriber for so long. I feel like I'm a subscriber that happens to have a channel. And I literally think from the perspective of an audience member, and I hate that, Shelly. I mean, I am, if I look at the demographics of my audience, the vast majority of my folks are over 35 years old. And so on some level, we can't even process the information. And you walk away feeling icky sometimes. And I didn't want that. I wanted, people to be able to come to a place and have a conversation and attack the idea and say that, you slept with that man, he's in a relationship with that woman, then you're a funky slore. And what you did was ridiculous, right? And still not leave the chat or leave the broadcast feeling awful on the inside. So that's the reason why I'll let you go, 15, 30, maybe a minute if it's really good arguing, and then I'll say, okay, all right, y'all, let's go on mute and let's sort this out. So
right. And that's the thing. The thing I don't like about like the WWE platforms is that there's never any resolution. A lot of times you don't learn anything because the fact that everybody's just screaming and they're yelling over each other. So you actually, you leave and you still don't have any information. Some people find it entertaining, but I actually want to know what you're saying. You know what I mean? Even if you're dragging each other, I'd rather one person talk and then the next person talks, so I can actually hear what you have to say. So, but I do like the fact that, you always tell people like everybody's welcome here. I don't really care who you are, as long as you're being, respectful, you can come hang out here. Just don't attack anybody. You can disagree with whatever the subject is, but don't attack the person. And I think that's great. I think it makes people feel welcome to be, on, over there at your channel. And when I've been over at your channel, at least I can say, as a, recent and stuff, like your mods and stuff, they're always, welcoming the chat. Everybody's just vibing and having a good time. In the beginning, I saw some different stuff with people, but I feel like some of those people have been phased out. And I kind of just it seems like you and your moderators are all in sync. And you guys all understand the mission and what it is that you're trying to do. And I think that's just, I think that's great.
Yeah,
now
I appreciate that, Shelly. I really do. Thank you.
You're welcome. I watched you respond to me asking Lady Nika if she would send you to hell or wish you well. Now that shit was funny as hell. Okay, I wish I had my damn remote, but I keep losing the goddamn remotes around here, so I use my phone. But when you do the remote like this, child, that should be funny as hell. So now there seems to be some confusion about you flagging her channel. Have you been able to straighten that out with Nika yet? I know you told her in your video, but does she now understand that like I didn't flag you? Or you guys okay now? Or she's still upset about the flagging that she thinks that you did to her channel?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did, because that would be like super juicy. I don't know the answer to that. But here's the thing. I'm a little offended because I'm proud of my work. I tell people when I'm going to strike them. I tell them, listen, I'm going to take all of your channels down. And I'm very patient. Like I literally tell them again, I'm going to wait 6 or 7 months. This will die down. You'll be talking about flowers and the lilies in the field, and I will go back and I will strike those videos, and you'll be out of here. And I'm very proud of my work. So I don't like when people accuse me of things, because the person that did that was sloppy. They just hit her with a little bit of flu, and she went on her backup channel. I wouldn't have done that. So I don't know. I don't know if we're good or not. That's a good question.
Lady Nika, if you're in the bushes or if you're in the clouds, because I do want to have Nika come back on here for a second time, because I got a lot of feedback from the one that she was on, and people really enjoyed that. So I hope that she does come back, and if she does come back, we can get back into it again. So there's the invitation, Nika. I want to see you back over here again soon so that we can get into it. And by the way, y'all, I bought me a new vape today on my other live. I ain't even bust this thing open, but they didn't have my favorite brand, and I'm still missing my other two. But anyway, I will bust this open at some point. Marley, come on now. So now here's another thing. you shared your story of domestic violence on
Mhm.
YouTube. Now, seeing how that all transpired, do you have any regrets about being so transparent?
No. If you had asked me that question back then, I would have absolutely said yes, and been like, I shouldn't have ever done it. But in retrospect, nothing in life just happens, and I believe that everything is for a purpose. And even though I felt like it was happening to me at the time, what I really realized is that that situation happened for me. So no.
Right. And I've talked about domestic violence on here a lot. I've been through it myself. A lot of the other ladies have. So I think it's always good when women can share those type of stories, because sometimes, especially when you're going through that, that shit is a very lonely feeling and you feel so alone. You feel like nobody else is dealing with it. Or if you've been through it, you feel like nobody else has, been through a situation like that. So it's always good, I think, that when you share stories like that, because you may have 100 people that say something crazy or disrespectful, but it's that one person that you're able to reach that it really matters about. So I think with that is great. Now, do you have any animosity towards those who spoke or said sensitive things about that situation?
No, because one thing that I know about karma is a big, fat, funky, nasty, stinky whore. She's millions of years old. She's never taken a bath. She doesn't have any sense of decorum, and she's ghetto as hell. So I said all that to say that a lot of times people are paid back by the seeds that they sow. So there is nothing that I can do to top the things that they do to themselves. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people are already they're their worst enemy. You know what I mean? Like their life is so bad, you don't have to say nothing, you don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is really just sit back and watch them self-destruct.
Yep.
Now, I also wanted to say, um, as a person, because I know the people in the chat that we're gonna slide into some messy stuff in just a moment, y'all. Hold,
Really?
pump your brakes, get in y'all car and put your seatbelts on or your roller skates or whatever, big baby. We getting into it in just a moment. We slow walk this thing, okay? But okay, so as a person that suffers with bipolar, pretty much everybody on here knows that, but it may be some people where it's your first time here tonight, so you might not know that. But I do have bipolar 2. I also suffer from depression, anxiety, and one of my therapists, psychiatrist, was telling me she thinks that I have post-traumatic. So I have a lot of mental health struggles, and it really truly is an everyday struggle. And I've realized that even for myself, I'm at my best when I'm doing less of this, which is the internet, and less of the phone, and just I'm doing more of living life. So that's just how I'm able to cope with that. But you also have been very brave to say, I deal with depression. Some people wouldn't even say that just based off of the shit that people say to me. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, how did you get so comfortable to just say, bam, this is what it is, despite knowing how these people want to, may use that and then turn it against you when they get upset with you?
You know what? I never planned it. It was actually something that we talked about in members only.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm very transparent. I'm going to tell you, I am an introvert who's forced to be an extrovert. Outside of here, and I have said this many times, if I met you in person, you would be shocked at how quiet I am and how much of an introvert I am. And so and when I first started my channel, every single time I go live, I get nervous. Every single time. Before I clicked on with Shelly, I was nervous. I just get nervous. And what calms me down is, I get into it and I start talking, etc. But I wanted to, but as a brand new content creator, I was so effing nervous, Shelly. I had to figure out a way to connect with my audience, right? And I had a very large YouTuber at the time pull me to the side and say, hey, you just need to be you. Stop.
Right. That's all you can be.
Get the people up off your panel. You run your show. Never expect anybody to click your link. Bang your show out and calm yourself down by talking to your people. And it was really organic how it came out, Shelly. And I'm glad that I did, because there are so many of us who suffer with it.
It's the wrong one. I need the pink one.
Oh.
This is not for the Android. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my phone, my thing was going dead, so I was trying to get a charger.
Oh, you're good. So I've had a lot of people try to weaponize that, and that's fine. It just proves to me that they're bat boo crazy themselves. But yeah, so I don't. You know what, Shells? Again, I never plan what I'm going to say, and you may not. God's honest truth. I don't plan what I'm going to say. I literally turn the camera on. I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but the conversation kind of naturally gravitates.
Organically.
Yeah.
I think those are the best conversations. Some of my best videos are videos that I actually put out where I might have said that I wasn't going to put it out. I thought about not doing it. And actually, those are the videos that ended up going viral. So, like, and when I talk to my people, for the most part, even though, people will say all kind of crazy stuff or whatever, it doesn't bother me, because I've had so many people reach out to me, like on the back end, telling me, different mental health stuff. And for me, again, it's about reaching that one person, making a difference to that one person. It may be something that you just said to that one person that keeps them fighting another day. And so yeah, I think that's amazing that you were able to do that, because like I said, most people will be like, hell no, I don't feel like these people saying crazy shit to me that I hear them say to others. And I'm not surprised that you're an introvert, because a lot of YouTubers that I have met on here who have these over-the-top personalities, when you meet them in real life, they're very reserved, they're very quiet, they're very shy. On the other end, y'all see me on here and I'm rah, and when you meet me, I'm rah. Like this is me all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm a little less than others, but yeah, I'm really like, I'll talk to anybody, complete stranger, whatever. So like, yeah. So but I'm not really surprised by that one at all. So now this, I know if anybody's gonna be triggered, this might not be a good one for you guys to hang around with. And if you don't want to speak on this, Kimmy, you don't. And that's with anything that I ask you. If it's something you just don't want to talk about, just say skip past, and we're gonna skip it and we pass it, because I want my guests to be comfortable. I don't ever want people to feel like they have to talk about something that they don't want to talk about. So now I've heard you, once again, being very transparent, talking about adoption and fertility issues. Now, on behalf of women who may have miscarried, which I have, you know what I'm saying? I was on Depo-Provera and got pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant. So by the time I had a miscarriage, I didn't even know I was pregnant, but there's a lot of women who do struggle to get pregnant. But there's also a lot of people who say very insensitive comments. Now, for me personally, I just tell people, if you don't have kids, you shouldn't speak on nobody's parenting. I don't care if you're a man, woman, dog, cat. If you ain't never raised that chick or child, you not in a position to tell nobody about parenting or whatever. That's pretty much it for me, because I don't go around in my everyday life and call women like barren. And I don't do all that type of stuff. But for women who may be going through a situation like that, what would you say to them as far as like, just to encourage them, even though, you're still dealing with your own stuff? Because I know that's, and I'm talking about women on YouTube, because I know that there are a lot of women here on YouTube, and I've heard them talk about it, saying that different comments that people say about women who can't have children. So how do you feel about people who speak on that type of, that subject?
I think it just says a lot more about them than it does me. And that may be the PC answer, but that's just the answer that I have. As far as my fertility and adoption journey has gone, I felt like I was forced to speak on that, because someone that I was in a YouTube ship with chose to weaponize that information. So nobody can ever spray me with my own tea. I simply hit the live button and banged it out myself. And so, yeah, I've been pretty transparent about it. I started the adoption process, and I asked to stop that process at that time. And I'm very glad that I did, because there were some mitigating things that were happening. And I'll never confirm whether or not I completed that process, whether or not I have babies. The only way somebody will know it for sure is if they see my car and car seats in the back. That's all. I'll never confirm one way or the other, but I will share my story to however many people or women need to hear it. Again, at the time, I thought it happened to me. It was something very, very painful. But I am glad that it happened the way it happened, because maybe it helped one other person.
Right. Yeah. And that, again, it's always about that one person. Now, this is where I told y'all to fasten your seatbelts, because this is the time that we slide and dive. Okay, we about to slide into some mess. But I do want to nip this in the bud off the break. I gotta nip this in the bud. Okay. Now, this shit about colorism, because today I'm gonna briefly say something about it, and when Mother comes, in another 2 weeks, I'm gonna briefly say something about it, because, and it's killing me to not say what I want to say dealing with James in the colorism thing, but I'm gonna hold that since he's coming on the show. I need to make sure I take a notation of that. But I'm absolutely fucking sick of this colorism, okay? I have made, I don't know how many videos on colorism in the past. Anybody that's been with me, y'all know that I have. I've done at least 2 or 3 videos on colorism, okay? And now all of a sudden, it's this big war about colorism. Let me put this up here. Thank you so much, Chapwalls. So it's all of this shit about colorism. Now, we've been on here, people been calling people monkeys and apes, and this ain't no shade to Heidi or anything like that, but Heidi used to call James the fucking Kool-Aid man, the purple Kool-Aid man. And when I told people at the time that was about complexion, they were saying no, that was about his body. And I said, absolutely no, the fuck it wasn't. When he went through his treatment, his skin had gotten a lot darker. And all I'm saying is that people are passionate about what the fuck affects them. Okay, because we're on this little application, as they say, entertainment application, and we're dragging dead family members, we're dragging kids, we're talking sexual about kids, we're talking underneath people's clothing, we're talking about people's hair, we're talking about people's clothing, we're doing all of this shit. But now suddenly we supposed to give a fuck about colorism. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't give a fuck about it, okay? And I don't give a fuck who say, well, everybody she had on the they like. I don't. All that shit is some bullshit, okay? I could start a whole campaign, because what's the lady name? I just heard this on the Truth channel today. The Truth 5. What she called me, a hungry hippo. So should I start a campaign for all the people that's overweight? Should I start one for the people that's disabled? Because I've been disability shamed. I've been weight shamed. I've been complexion shamed, look shamed, hair shamed. What the fuck? Now we supposed to give a fuck about a motherfucking colorism? This is the motherfucking beef sector, and everybody knows what the fuck it gives. And all I'm gonna say to anybody, and this is me talking, say whatever the fuck you want to say. Just stand in that shit. And that's it. You don't gotta apologize for a motherfucking thing. If you feel how the fuck you feel, you felt like that. Period.
Yeah.
Period. I personally think colorism is whack as fuck, because at the end of the day, if the police pull any of us over, all he sees is a bunch of niggas. He don't give a fuck how light we are, how dark we are. If anybody has ever seen my fucking husband, y'all see how And I wish I could get him 7 more motherfucking shades of blackness, baby. Get into it. When I was pregnant, I was like, man, I want me some fucking chocolate ass motherfucking babies. But see, it's some shit that comes along with being fucking light skinned too. And I told y'all about that shit. I've been told y'all about that shit. It's a lot of shit. People say reverse colorism. Nah, I don't call that shit reverse colorism. I call it colorism. Anytime when you treat a person any type of way based off their complexion, light or dark, it is colorism, and it's also motherfucking ignorance.
Yep.
But I don't want to hear about this motherfucking shit. No, I'm talking about it with James because something was said and I want to bring him to it. But I'm just saying that shit right there. Don't nobody give a fuck.
Nobody.
Don't nobody give a fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck.
Nobody.
And I that's just my fucking rant. And I said what the fuck I said. And I ain't going back and forth with no motherfucking body. Okay?
And the thing is, Shelly, you know, I love Bethany Frankel. I love her. And Bethany said something one day on The Real Housewives, and I thought this was brilliant. She talked about cheater brands, and she talked about how people would enter an arena. Let's say they're a brand new content creator, right? They'll enter an arena and they're looking for a gimmick, or they're looking for a way to get on. And they think that the way to be on is to be a cheater brand. And that's what I think is a problem with a lot of these newer YouTubers. They're cheater brands. They're not original. They don't have original content. They have poor delivery and very little talent in some cases. And I think that they think that the way to get on is to be a cheater brand, to be so unoriginal, to get on a gimmicky little campaign. The problem is that you turn around and at some point you antagonize your audience. You understand what I mean? Because at the end of the day, just how life works and how business works, business is cyclical. So just because I'm buying the Great Value brand today doesn't mean that when I can afford to go back to, I don't know, the brand, when I could go back to Charmin, that I'm not going to go back to Charmin because I have brand loyalty. I know that is quality over there. You understand? Right. You are the Great Value. You're the cheater brand. So you solve the problem for the minute. I can wipe my ass with you because that's all I got.
And let me tell you another thing. Yeah. I'm just going to use Marley, for example. If I'm supposed to start a campaign about protecting the animals, if I'm saying protecting the animals, I'm talking to all the animals, right? It's not going to be only Marley. So, but what I see with some people is you talk about colorism, but when colorism is put towards somebody else, or what could be perceived as colorism, but that dagger is not towards you. If you don't like the person, you're okay with it. That's not being genuine about something. It's not. So I don't want to really hear about that bullshit no motherfucking more. I mean, I know people want to still talk about it, but I'm not tuning in to hear about no goddamn colorism. And once I talk to James in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna say something else about colorism, it's dead for me. S. Hutchinson ain't never talking about that shit on here again because it's gonna go no fucking where. Okay, this is, I hate to say it, but this is not a sector where a lot of times we can sit down and have real deep thinking conversations. This is a sector where everybody comes on here and shows their natural born black ass. Now call me a fucking colorist because I said they're black ass. I said they're black asses. Come on here and show their black ass. Okay, yeah, I am sick of it.
And it's a gimmick because it's disingenuous, because you can't call me a colorist today because we're not social anymore. Like when we were social, I wasn't a colorist. I was your bestie, the best of the best, and now that we're no longer social, now I'm all of these things. And so I think it's ridiculous. Again, it's the cheater brand mentality, and they think that may get you there, but it won't keep you there. And the other thing I'll say is comparison is the thief of joy. I think a lot of people's problems, when you really get down to it, is that they have unaddressed trauma. But This is not the place for it. It's not my ministry, and I'm not interested. And I think that's the other thing. And what you'll see, to the audience, because Shelly gets this, to the audience, what you'll see is these people, just listen, they always show who they are. They can only keep their mask on for so long, right? So eventually, once that argument is tossed out of the window and they are being told that they're ridiculous, then they'll start with, oh, you guys are all picking on me and I just want to defend myself. Well, Sugar Plum, if you want to defend yourself, then you need to do it with viable arguments, because not everyone is as ignorant as you. So as far as the colorism thing is concerned, it's a non-starter for me, Shelly. I'm not interested in it. It's a cheater brand mentality, and I'm not a cheater brand.
Yeah, I think it's whack, and it may work in some areas, but this is not the section. People have tried to build campaigns against, woe is my kid, and nobody gives a fuck about the kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if people can't respect children, if they cannot respect deceased people, what the fuck make anybody think that somebody gonna care about anybody's complexion? And OG's name is OG for a motherfucking reason, because at the end of the day, we are all Black people, and that's exactly what I said. Now, into the colorism, because I'm gonna dive into this and then I'm gonna get back to her. Now, I just learned, I believe this was last night, that Jiffy Mix, now call me crazy, but I thought that Jiffy Mix was for your skin tone. I always assumed that, the same way that I assumed that coleslaw face was for my skin complexion. Also, you half dead, I figured that was my complexion. You know, that was my perception.
Yeah.
Your perception was that it was about your skin complexion.
It is.
What I heard Pizza say was that it was for your neck and it had nothing to do with your complexion. But then I was thinking, well, what the hell do cornbread and somebody's neck got to do with each other? I didn't get it, right? I don't know. Maybe that's the way I could.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't even matter how people try to change it at this point. It is how I perceive it. And listen, again, I'm not a lesbian, so I don't care about what any other woman has to say about me. My man is my biggest fucking fan. Like, I'm sure he's watching right now. Like, I'm just not into it. So I really don't give a shit about what someone else has to say, especially a woman, about how I look. But
y'all gonna listen. Y'all gonna know that I really and truly watch Kimmy, because something she just said I got here in my damn notes. Okay, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get into that shortly. So you don't feel any different now that she explained that it has nothing to do with your complexion. You still feel the same way, like that was colorist, and you just, that's how you feel, and that's that, and you standing on that. Okay.
Typically 5,000%. I've told her that. We've had that conversation. It is a non-starter. It's a no-go. It's a boo-boo. It's a poo-poo. It's poo-poo. I heard all. It is a colorist statement. But the difference is, because I have substance and content, I'm not making that my mantle.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I always took it that way. Now I've seen some people who seem to be concerned, because I've seen you in Pizza on a panel 1 or 2 times, and then I know that you went and you clicked her link, and on there, girl, it was so much hollering and screaming, I couldn't hear a goddamn thing, and that's just the truth, because I was gonna have that little piece here, but I'm saying, child, we can't hear shit. Okay. It seems like people are worried that, or they don't like the fact that you and Pizza can be cordial, y'all can be on a panel, whatever's going on, and y'all don't have to, cuss and scream at each other for that moment. Why do you think people even give a damn? You know what I'm saying? Why is it why is it being brought up? Why do people care? Why do you have any idea why people care about that?
I really do think it's a poverty mindset. Let me tell you why. Some of the most successful, incredible people who have changed the world can't stand to be in the same room with one another, but they understood the assignment. See, at the end of the day, it's really not about whether or not I can roast or read, or she can roast and read me down. If I'm on somebody else's panel, then I'm going to act accordingly. So I'm not overly concerned about that, and hopefully I'm the type of content creator that can get my my audience comfortable with the fact that, again, you can attack ideas, not people. We don't really have anything in common. We're never going to go have tea and crumpets together. But we can still coexist and it be fine. I'm just not interested because, Shelly, if I wasted time investing and arguing with Pizarro, then that means I'm not focused on my other stuff.
Right. And I think a lot of people do lose sight of the fact when they say like, well, why are you up here? But it's like everybody wants entertainment and everybody wants content. So if they can sit on a panel together and bring the entertainment and bring the audience, then why is it a big issue? But I've seen like comments and things like that, and I'm like, okay, why do they care? So I just thought,
wasn't it obvious why I went over there?
Yes.
People, I think it would be obvious to you. I'll put it in the back chat. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't do anything just to do something. It is always a reason behind a reason behind a reason. And there was a reason behind it. The mission was accomplished. I gagged and I had a good time and I left.
Yeah, I think people just, take it for what it is. This is entertainment. At the end of the day, I've been on here for a long time and I really haven't seen nobody coming at anybody's door. So I'm assuming it really ain't no beef around here for real, for real. I think it's just a lot of people, talking for content or whatever. That's just what I think. But, I could be wrong. But we're going to get into Miss Vothel, or Theo, however you say her name. I personally do not know her. I've tried to go and support her channel. I've noticed that now I'm blocked for whatever reason. I know that she has spoken on me a couple of times. I've never spoken on this lady. And when people do stuff like that, I just kind of avoid them. I really don't, speak on them or whatever. But, this is a show and, the show must go on. So we're going to discuss it. Now, I went over there to her place to check out some things. And so I want to dive down into that. Now, I saw you on her channel and you were trying to give her some words of encouragement, about basically, her reasons for coming on YouTube. And now you see her doing something, completely different. And to me, I thought like, well, wow, that's some real, encouragement. And it seems like she was really receptive to what you said. So I thought that maybe, not saying that you guys would be friends, but I thought that maybe things would be okay after that. So I was a little taken back when I saw that, some people, they chop it up and put the clips out, that you and her were on the spaceship and you guys were screaming back and forth at each other. So what happened? What changed from that time of, girl, you got it. Listen, you know what to do. You came here for this. Girl, don't let that stuff get to you. You seem bothered, relax. How did y'all go from that to, and girl, your mic was low, so I didn't hear half the shit you was talking about. But yeah, so your mic was a little low, but y'all was going back and forth at it. So what happened from that point to that to get y'all to that point?
You know what, Shelly, the conversation that I had with her that day was genuine on my side. She was disingenuous. She chose not to receive the message. And the problem is that you have to learn to take the meat from the bones. And something else, Shelly, is that I had that conversation with her many times. And so that was a repeat message, and it just didn't compute. And so she, right after I left that platform, she was very disrespectful and condescending and just disgusting. And I think she really has a hard time with me calling her ugly. And I can say that she's an ugly bitch because I believe she's ugly. She has nice skin, but she's ugly. I ain't taking it back. Okay, I ain't sorry. I ain't taking it back, bitch. It is what it is. Okay.
Kimmy said what she said. Okay, she said what she said. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not always complexion. Sometimes people just don't like you, or some people just don't find you attractive. I feel indifferent because I don't know you. So I don't feel one way or another. I'll tell you in advance, I will be bringing up your name in 2 weeks when I speak to James, because it was something that I heard over there on your channel. And then after that, you probably won't hear me speak of you ever again. But you know, I know. So now we're gonna slide on to this next subject, which I do have 3 questions. And let me just say, because I'm quite sure people in the chat are wondering, so we are going to address the elephant in the room, because I know a lot of people probably were expecting me to start this conversation off by talking about you and Brianna. Now, I purposefully did not do that because I feel like, just in my opinion, that you ladies both had a real friendship. You know, you guys actually met up in real life. And that's something that I really don't take like lightly, when you actually meet up with people in real life or you break bread or whatever. So I feel like what you guys had was separate from a YouTube ship. That's just my perception of what I saw. So I really don't like to talk about that type of stuff, but it's a show, so we just want to slightly get into it and not too deep. And I have no issues at all, you know, with Brianna. So this is not in any way, shape, or form to be disrespectful to her. I could always invite her over here. I think she would decline. So no, I haven't asked her. I don't think she would. I don't think she would come. But you know, I have no issue with her. Now I have a perception in my mind of how I think maybe some of the issues with you and her may have come down. And I just, you can let me know, am I wrong? Am I right? Now I felt, you know, and I didn't see it all because I don't see every single thing, but I felt like when you were on her channel, Brianna pretty much has an open platform where she, similar to pizza, you know, the mods, the chat, they're free to say whatever they want to say. People can hit the link, they can say whatever they want to say. I run my platform completely different. You run your platform completely different. And I think my perception was that you felt like Brianna's your friend. And why are her moderators, you know, or people off the internet that she maybe don't know, or they're not on the phone all day or whatever, why are they allowed to disrespect you and you're also adding to her platform? And I felt like the constant, you know, bickering that may have took place, whether you started it, whether they started it, I'm not saying that y'all was just fucking with her for no reason. I'm just saying, I feel that may have been a problem. And maybe I'm just saying that because maybe that would have been a fucking problem for me. So am I anywhere near correct on that?
That was a symptom of an issue. Yeah, it was a symptom of an issue. The bottom line to it is, and the reason why we're not friends is because she is a fucking liar, and she betrayed my trust, and she had been doing it for a while. I was in complete denial, and didn't want to believe it, and I got incontrovertible proof, and it was very disappointing.
Well, I've actually had somebody actually tell me that Brianna was actually trolling me, right? And I've never even, you know, brought it up or said anything to her. I've never acted any different type of way because I feel like there's no concrete proof behind who's behind what channel. So I'm never gonna like just cuss her out or act all indignant about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, somebody assumes or thinks that this person is that person or whatever the case may be. So, so that, there you go. You heard from Kimmie on why she thinks, well, not why she thinks, why the relationship, there was some issues. Now, this is a question that bothered me. And I know Brianna got upset when I had said this because I just didn't get it. When y'all met up, why the hell did y'all not take a picture? That's why I didn't believe that y'all really met up. And then when y'all got the beefing, and then you were talking about you actually met up with her. And I'm not saying that you have to meet up just for pictures or videos, but being a content creator, most of the times when other content creators get together, you see them on camera or they take a picture, and y'all just came through with a goddamn shadow and a steering wheel. So what was that all about? I don't know why it's bothering me so bad. I just didn't understand it.
Okay, let me just go ahead and fucking say it. Shelly, dang it. Okay, I didn't think that she would want to take the picture. Infer what you.
Okay, so I thought, because honestly, when I heard you and Misunderstood, and you were saying like, your birthday, you don't want nobody with cameras. I thought maybe it was a thing with you where you're just like, hey, no cameras when you're around me, or whatever like that. And I've gotten to the point now where, if I'm going to meet up with people, I don't really so much want it to be about the cameras and stuff like that, because if it's genuine, then we don't need to have YouTube in the middle of everything that we're doing. There's nothing wrong with giving them a little piece of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, I've tried to not do that as much. And then you have to be careful, because you have some people who will try to meet up with you just off a come up, or just to get a picture, or just you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a part of what it is when you have a YouTube platform. They will look at, how many numbers maybe you can get, or how many subscribers you have, or whatever. So when I saw that, I was like, ain't no way in the world they meant to fuck up. They ain't taking no picture. They showing shadows on the ground. Like, what the fuck? This is some crazy shit. I'm like, nah, I'm willing to put money on it.
No, we really did meet up. But it really wasn't about that. And yes, you heard correctly when we talked about my birthday trip. I said, no, you cannot you can't film me in any way, right? You can't. And that was for the protection of the people that were going to be there. There were going to be non-YouTubers there, and people whose privacy, I wanted to make sure was protected. And it's the same way with the car dealership. I mean, at the end of the day, I was there to support her in getting a vehicle. It really wasn't about YouTube. And I had specifically asked her not to mention the fact that we even met. And she did. And there you go. The rest is history.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I didn't know that you didn't want anybody to know that you guys had met up.
Nope.
Okay, so this is my last question on Brianna, because like I said, I don't have an issue with Brianna. So I'm not even asking these questions to create or get beefs up with people. Like I said, again, this is entertainment. These are conversations. And I try to ask questions that maybe people are thinking in the back of their head, but nobody ever really sits down and has conversations, so you can't really learn shit. So, but I do want to say this. Now that you are a content creator, do you understand maybe the position sometimes that Brianna may have been in when it comes to like trying to juggle a friendship and then trying to juggle and keep your moderators? That's not always easy. You know what I'm saying? When you start having these separate relationships and then this person is expecting this or that. So do you feel at any point that maybe now, if you would have seen this side of it, maybe you would have been a little more understanding? Or do you think that it had just any benefit of the doubt now that you're a content creator?
No, but I do see from a content creator's perspective the position that she had put herself in, and I learned from that. One of the things that I never do is I never discuss strategy. I never discuss what I'm doing, how I'm doing, what I'm thinking about doing on my channel. I never, ever discuss that with my moderators. My moderators don't know my next move. They don't know what I'm thinking about. They don't know. I never put them in that position. And I never speak poorly about one moderator to another moderator. I don't talk about my moderators outside of YouTube, meaning that in my personal life, my man or my best friend, we don't sit around and talk about YouTube. And that's why when I do have YouTube ships with people and they happen to get my phone number, I don't want to sit on the phone and talk about YouTube. I don't want to who calls me constantly with YouTube drama. I'm not interested. So the point I'm making is that no, I don't even mention anything that's happening on my channel. And I think that I learned from the things that I saw her do. And she put herself in that position because she was going back and forth between both groups of people, multiple groups of people, being disingenuous, showing text messages, saying crazy things. And I think she counted on the groups of people never coming together. And when things happened with TC, it kind of all came out.
Wow. Okay. That That was pretty heavy right there. Okay. Now I know that you never asked for money, and I've been screaming on the low, putting on mute, telling somebody come get this goddamn cat. He was over here trying to kiss me on the camera. Now he over here trying to fuck with my shit over here. I don't know what it is about him and YouTube. The other day I was telling Vivian I heard Jay Wilson's voice, and I'm like, how the fuck do I hear Jay Wilson in my damn house? Girl, Marley in the living room, then on the fucking computer hitting goddamn buttons, and he got Jay Wilson on the goddamn computer, and he's sitting in front of the damn laptop. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with this cat? Okay. So I know that, here we go again. So I know that you never asked for any money for the hurricane. And I'm glad that everybody made it out safe. I don't care whether they can't stand me or not. I'm glad that everybody's still here. You know, I wouldn't have wanted to hear about anybody, you know, losing their home or, you know, their children being without food or whatever. But now Ken and others felt as though people in Florida were scamming. Now, I know that people do donate at different times for different things, but why do you think people were then saying, well, only these set of people in Florida should be able to get money, but not these set of people in Florida because they're not really going to be in a disaster? So, like, why do you think that was even a discussion?
Because that's what happens, right? So people, the thing is that being in Florida and being a native Floridian, you never really know, Shelly, what direction that hurricane is going to take.
I agree with that.
Yeah, my people were literally asking me, are you okay? And I'm like, y'all, I don't need nothing. I was like, the only thing I'm trying to get right now is water. And people were like, what's your cash app? What's your cash app? To the point where I finally put my cash app on my member community wall and said, you know, anybody, you know, who would like to give a gift. And so, but as far as why people were picking other people out, because it was content for them. I disagreed. I didn't think that I just didn't think that it should have been content. I feel like, you know, as of, and Shelly, as of last week, we just got clearance that our water, sewage, and sanitary system had been repaired to the point where we had the restriction on water had been lifted. Like, it was very serious for me. And so I was without power for a while. I was flooded in for a while. So there was different things that was happening. It was scary as hell. So it was a really big reality for me. I know that, like, Pizarro, for example, she's in South Florida. She said she was at the casino. Well, great for you. But I wasn't at no damn casino. I was in here scared as hell by myself. So,
you know,
yeah.
Honestly, even though, you know, me being here in the DMV area, we had so much rain, we had so much wind. So I can only imagine what Florida got. Now, I never heard your name, you know, as far as any scamming or whatever, but I was hearing about other people and they were saying, you know, only these set of Florida people should have got money and not these set of Florida people should have got money. But I just think, like, if people donate, it's their money, and let them donate where they want to donate, as long as they know what they're donating towards. And I think they knew that a hurricane was heading towards Florida, and if people wanted to give money, they gave it. And so be it. Now, like I said, this is how you know that I watch you, because you said something earlier, and I got it in my notes already, was over here previously. Okay, so you make and I'm trying to speed through here because I know that Kimmy has a lot that she needs to be going soon. So I know you make a lot of references about not being a lesbian.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out, because you always say, I'm not gay, I don't care, I'm not trying to sizzle nobody, I don't want no woman. So my question is, has any women been trying to push up on you, Kimmy, on here? Is that why you keep giving a disclaimer every video?
Well, I have had offers, but they know those are my love muffins. They all know that it's not related to them. I literally say that for the many confused, dumb, bum, rancid, flying garbage, piece of shit, nasty whores who sit around and worry about how I look. You know what I'm saying? For them. It's not for my LGBTQIA plus. Hello. I love them. But it is for, and like Auntie Maddie is my auntie in my head. Get out of here. So anyway, the point I'm making is that no, it's never for my love muffins. It's for these rancid haters that be out here talking about how they think I look. Yeah, Miss Thing, go away.
I also, you know, give the, because I mean, a lot of women on here they will try their hand. You know what I'm saying? They will say all kind of stuff, but I also give the disclaimer to the men too, because my thing is, if you're a man and you're into men, why are you underneath my clothes? Why are you worried about my body? You ain't trying to lay up with me. Why you care? Why you concerned? I'm confused. Are you confused? You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about that. Now, speaking of lesbians, Marley, I'm serious. As soon as I finish, when I play this video, I'm getting rid of you for real, okay? Because you ain't been... Okay. So speaking of lesbians, we are going to speak of Jay Dunn. Now, y'all know I like me some Jay Dunn. The thing about Jay Dunn is, you know, I respect her. I let her move how she want to move, and she lets me move how I want to move. She don't check me. I don't check her. And I think that's why we, actually get along, Now, I did reach out to Jay Dunn for a statement, because when I have people's phone numbers, I try to reach out to them for the statement. Now, if I mentioned your name and I didn't reach out to you for a statement, it's because I don't have your number. Now, last week I was up here with Jay Wilson and we talked about Food Junkie. Food Junkie's in the chat today, but I reached out to Food Junkie last week for a statement and he was unavailable. Okay. So I always try to get a statement. So I reached out to Jay Dunn for a statement. Now, would you like to talk about why y'all have an issue, or would you rather for me to play the recording first and then you respond back to it? It's up to you.
I'm not interested.
You just want to skip that whole thing right there?
I'm not interested.
All right, we are skipping Jay Dunn. Okay. All right. People have accused you of fake beefing, but misunderstood, so that you could bring numbers to your platform and she could get numbers to her platform. Why do you think that this is real? Like, this is stuff that I'm really seeing in the streets. Have y'all been, listen, chat, don't leave me hanging, because y'all know y'all been seeing this shit in the streets too. Don't act like I'm the only one that's been seeing and hearing this shit, okay? All right, I'm not alone, okay? I be searching this, and I be in places that I don't usually be in, looking for information, okay? And the people said that you misunderstood is fake beefing only to bring numbers to your platform. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but why do you think people would even say something like that?
Well, because listen, they are getting a glimpse into how I truly am as a friend to someone. And I am brutally honest. If you're a goddamn junkie, then I'm going to call you a junkie. If you pull junkie stunts, I'm going to say you pull goddamn junkie stunts. And I think Misunderstood said it best. Well, Kimmy was calling me a junkie. I was a junkie. So the fact still remains that I don't give a shit about what anybody else has to say. If you look at my statistics, then you would know that I'm not the content creator that puts Misunderstood's name in every title. Or that mentions her in every video. There is no fake beef. When I think that she is pulling junkie stunts, I say it. When I feel like, someone's doing her wrong, I say it. When I feel like she's full of shit, I say it. And I really just don't give a shit about what anybody else has to say about it.
All right. Now, shout out to Tracy, because I'm diving into her next. I'm cool with Tracy. Shout out to the pieces, okay, if y'all in the building. But do you think, because this is what I believe, this is my perception, I feel that Misunderstood, she adds fuel to a fire that is already burning between you and Tracy. And my opinion is, I don't think that y'all would be beefing or have as many issues as y'all have if she wasn't involved. Do you see that at any point? Because I'm just wondering, you don't see that?
I see that.
Okay, I want to do Tracy see it, because I see it. Can y'all press a 1 if y'all see it? Could y'all press the 2 if y'all don't see it? Because I really think that she plays on both sides and both ends. And to be honest, I think she loves it. I think she loves the attention. I think she loves the confusion. I think she loves to get it going. And then when Tracy's attacking you and you're attacking Tracy, in her mind, I feel like she feels they're fighting over me. It's all about me. Dr. LaShonda said 111. Thank y'all for being brave enough to say something. I don't want y'all down in the chat acting like y'all scared now. I want y'all to participate. The chat say I'm correct. I had a feeling that I was right about it because I promise you, if her ass would go somewhere and motherfucking OD, yeah, I said it. If the bitch was to go somewhere and motherfucking OD so them kids could get a motherfucking decent mother, baby, y'all would notice that Tracy and Kimmy wouldn't even be beefing. She all up in the middle of the shit, loving every motherfucking minute of it. And yes, bitch, I said when you goddamn OD, I said what I said, and bitch, I won't be back to the 26th, and even then, I still won't respond back to you, bitch. I don't talk to motherfucking crackheads and meth heads. All right. So moving right along with that. Okay, I'm glad we got to that because the chat, thank y'all chat for coming along with it because honestly, I see a lot of manipulation with her. All that soft talking and sweet talking when everybody is kissing her ass. And I'm not saying you kissing her ass, but I'm saying when everybody's telling her what the fuck they want to tell her instead of telling her, bitch, you strung the fuck out. Bitch, you motherfucking high. Bitch, you a fucking liar. Then when you tell her that shit, she all up in between her goddamn feelings. But anything in between that is a bunch of manipulation back and motherfucking forth. Okay? So I'm just saying, I just think that if she was out of the picture, I'm not saying you and Tracy would be friends, but I don't think shit would be to the level of where it's at. She's all up in between that. I don't know if Tracy sees it. I've said it to Tracy. And this is no shade to Tracy or anything like that, because y'all know I fuck with Tracy, but no, I think that she is a catalyst behind a lot of that shit, and it's just fucked up that she's playing, pulling strings on both sides and doing all of that nonsense. Now you said that content creators should not fall into alliances, and I could not agree more. It is a lesson that I have learned. I don't even know how fucking important it is for new content creators to understand, do not form any alliances. I'm beef with so many people, not even because of something that they did to me, but because of my alliance or who I'm rocking with or who I'm fucking with. And that shit can destroy your fucking channel. It is almost impossible sometimes to come back off of that shit. You get what I'm saying? Right. And so, what are some of the negative impacts that you have noticed based off of alliances?
You know what? The main thing that I'll say is that an alliance stunts your growth. You can't truly be authentic with your audience. You truly can't, because you always have to consider your alliance. You always have to, call such and such to make sure they're okay with this and do this and that. So it's easier for me not to be in any alliance with anyone and just be committed to my audience and my brand. And then that way I don't have to have those issues. It literally stunts your growth. And a lot of times you can be in an alliance and not even realize you're in an alliance.
Exactly.
So, it is so easy to fall into those traps. I never trust anyone completely on here. I can have 5 YouTube ships with 5 different women, and each one of them know a different piece of me. I just can't. I don't commit to clicks. It's just something that I learned a long time ago, and I tried it. It didn't work out. It's a bust. It's doo-doo. It's foo-foo. It's cuckoo. And I had to go back to what I was taught and what I knew, which was it is death to a brand, and they teach you that in B school.
Okay, so Vibrant says that Tracy sees it. Tracy is rooting for misunderstood regardless. Tracy is loyal to a fault until she sees it. It takes a lot for her to dismiss you. Now, this is what I want to say about the alliances, and I'm so glad that I pinned Vibrant's comment up here, and Vibrant had commented. Even as, being a moderator for somebody, you have to be very, very careful, even if you're not a content creator. some people will give you a mod stick, but they're giving you that mod stick because they want you to fight for them, or they expect you to have a certain alliance to them. And the thing that I like about Vibrant, and this is something that maybe other people can learn something from, when Vibrant moderates for anybody or starts supporting anybody's channel, Vibrant always says, listen, I don't super chat, I don't cash app, I support everybody, I go where I want to go. You know what I mean? Like, Vibrant is very clear with, they hate so-and-so, but that don't mean that I'm gonna start rocking with so-and-so. But I don't ever really see Vibrant anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, you moderate for this person, but you over here in the middle of what's going on. And I think that a lot of times content creators will mod up moderators, and then they give them expectations that should not be placed on them. You cannot just give somebody a stick and then start giving them all these rules and regulation when they didn't ask to be your fucking moderator. You get what I'm saying? Just because they pop up in your chat from time to time, now you're expecting them to do all of this shit. And it's just like, just for people that moderate for other people, keep that in mind. Don't let those people put you in a situation to where you feel like you have to go hide out in somebody else's bushes, or you have to just be loyal to them because they chose to give you a moderator stick. You didn't fucking ask for it. You get what I'm saying? I think that's just something that content creators need to do better with. I see too much of that, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So now, so you talked about the negative stuff with the alliances, which I agree with. The next person, and you may want to skip this as well, it's going to be ZX, aka Grown Folks TV, aka Glitter Boots, aka Jurassic Sissy. You made a video about not having a book on how to be a good friend, and I thought that live was phenomenal. Like, that is honestly, out of all your lives or all your videos that I've ever watched, that one was my personal favorite. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was just for other things, but it just kind of hit me, and I just got so much from that video. And so during that video, he clicked the link and you dismissed him after a while or whatever. And all of the bad things, good things must come out of it. So initially, what led you to form a YouTube partnership with him? And then also, to hindsight now, 2020, what did you learn from that? So, like, initially, it was something that you saw that said, let me come over there. And I get it, because I was subscribed to him at one point, that. And I felt like, wow, if I saw more of the bits and pieces of what I saw at that time, I think that's much needed. But all that other extra shit that I see now and have seen before then is absolutely not needed. So what initially led you to even go over there with him?
And I'll have to wrap after this one.
Okay.
Let me say this. I thought he was a Mason, Shelly, and that's the God's honest truth. I literally thought that he was a Mason. I ultimately found out that wasn't able to be verified. I am glad I made the decision to leave before it even got to the verification and all of that craziness, because his views on homosexuals is malignant. It is next level and violent. And I just can't, Shelly. I have to be able to live with myself when I turn this off. And so I made the decision to walk away. No one that had ever walked away from him had ever had a successful platform, and I did. And I think it really burned him up. And the one thing that I learned from that is to trust your gut. And if I had to do it all over again, I still would have gone through that experience, because through that, I've met some awesome people from that sector. And it taught me a very valuable lesson as well. And that you sometimes just have the courage to take the high road and to go the extra mile. It's never crowded. And I am proud of myself for having the courage to say, yeah, I could never align with you, with your views on the LGBTQIA community, sir. Good day. And yeah, from there, it has been nothing but up. So.
Do you think that there will ever be a time when you and him can, and I'm not saying like collaborate together, but what I'm saying like network, like how you and Pizarro, y'all can be on a panel, but y'all, so nope. Okay. This is my, next thing, and then you just let me know when you, cause you know, I don't, but okay. So trolling in death. I heard you tell Peace Love that you would troll her in her death. I'm saying, God forbid that she pass away, not wishing that. If she was to go on to glory right now, would she be able to rest in peace, or do you still plan on trolling her in her death?
No comment.
Okay, no comment. Okay.
I really have to go. I have a guest that's waiting.
Ooh, okay, I'm sorry. All right. No problem.
I promise I will come back. This was so darn fun. And the only reason why I have to go is because I have a guest coming that can only come at this time, and he's in a different time zone. But this was so fun. No, thank you. Thank you so much. We still had some more stuff, but it's okay. We almost were at the end of it, but it is all good. Moderators, if y'all could drop the link to Kimmie's chat, and we can go ahead over there and support her channel. I appreciate you so much for coming over here. Thank you for having me.
When you have time, if you ever have time and you want to come back, we can pick up where we left off at, so we can play Go to Hell or Wish Them Well. Girl, I had 10 people lined up for you, okay? 10 people.
I gotta come back. I love y'all, Shirley. I got misty when you asked me to do this. I was like, this is an OG. So thank you. I love you guys. I
appreciate it so much. Bye. Thank you guys so much. And I will be over there in just a second. I will be putting the links to all of, not all of, she only has one channel that I know of. I'll put the links to her channel. So you guys can go and support. And if she ever graces me with a part 2, guys, we will wrap up where we ended. And I promise you it wouldn't be more than probably like 30, 45 more minutes, so that we can play Wish Them Well or Go to Hell. And I'm going to go ahead and drop my music and leave up out of here. And we are going over to Kimmie to support her. I appreciate you guys so much. And Fifi, thank you, boo. Because listen, that Cash App you sent me some time back, I had bought my 3 bottles of my favorite wine. And this is the last bottle right here. I reserved it for Wednesday. But look, I don't know if she coming back or not. But I don't know if I want to tell y'all who I had on here about Wish Them Well or Go to Hell. We're just gonna pause on that. We'll see if she returns, in the future. Like I said, we will have Spilly Boy over here in 2 weeks. And also to shout out to the replay gang, because I definitely see you guys, and I appreciate everybody who has been giving me feedback on these Wednesday shows. I do have other people who will be coming, and I just hope that you guys can learn something from each guest that I have. I try to, ask questions that maybe people are, little comments you see or something that's in the back of your mind or whatever like that. So that's what I try to do. But we're going to go over here. I'm glad you enjoyed it, OG. I hope you come back. And like I said, also too, for the ladies, I got some eye candy. Just hold tight. I'm trying to work on some things. I got some eye candy I'm trying to have come over here for the ladies next month. So I got some things that I'm working on, and I appreciate all of the support. Thank you again to Kimmie. I'm sorry that it wasn't shorter. I had a lot of questions. I probably had more questions for Kimmie than I had for a lot of other people. But as I started digging in, there were just so many things that I was like, well, let me just ask this or whatever. So like I said, again, I will pick up where we left off at if she ever comes back again. And I'm going to go ahead and play my music going out so I can pin some of these comments up here. Go to Kimmie's channel and please support her. I would appreciate it so much. I love you all, and I will see you guys later. I never even got to bust this new vape open. Good night, y'all.
But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Cause not only you, they my mind, oh. Girl, you too fine, well, light a lie. Me, I know the lie, oh. See, not only you in my head, oh. Yeah, only you in my head, oh. See, now you the cause confusion in my head, yeah. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy. You're my fantasy. Only you in my head, oh. Only you in my head, oh. See, now you the cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, you're my fantasy, yeah. Going on inside? Is this reality? Oh yeah, cause I don't wanna wake up from this dream. Them say something must kill a man, oh, nah, nah, nah. But if I your body, girl, I don't mind. Oh yeah, cause not only you in my mind, oh. Yeah, yeah. See you too fine, me, I know the liar. See, now only you in my head, oh. Yeah, only you in my head, oh. See, now you the cause confusion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, my me, I know the liar. Only you in my head, only you in my head, oh. See, now you the cause commotion in my head, oh. Yeah, me, I know the liar, my fantasy. See, now only you in my head, only you in my head, oh. Now you the cause confusion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie, I know the lie. Only you in my head, oh. Yeah. Only you in my head, oh. Now you the cause commotion in my head, oh. Me, I know the lie of my fantasy.